The Orlando housing market is changing at a quick pace. Interest rates are up, inventory's up. Is the Orlando housing market slowing down? We should be, right? Well, in this video, I'll give you a July 2022 Orlando real estate market update, and then we'll answer the question if the Orlando housing market is slowing down. Let's check out some infographics. All right, so let's see what we've got here. So active listings up, new listings up, pending sales down, listings sold down, actual days on market stayed the same between June and May. So I think that's a little interesting. Average sales price has gone up by 1%, and then months of inventory is 2. So in months of inventory is basically like if no other new houses came on the market for sale, that all the houses would be bought up within X amount of time. So in this case, within 2 months, all the houses on the market would be sold. And for a frame of reference, a balanced market is considered at 6 months. 3 years ago, we were probably looking at about 3 to 4 months of inventory. And then the average sales price, went up 1% from last month. The normal appreciation year to year is 3 to 5%. So, obviously we are still seeing prices rise, but it's not, 2 or 3 or 4% each month like we were seeing maybe a year ago. Although months of inventory is rising, prices are still going up, but, it is slowing down a little bit if you compare from a year or two ago. So let's check out this pricing trends chart. The median home price is still trending upwards, but I think there are signs of it starting to plateau or at least not rise as much as it was before. I'll be interested to see what the next few months bring. So here we can see for June, it was 462, 489. And then the previous month in May was 456, 243. So yeah, it's not rising as much as it was in January, February, and March. But we'll have to see what happens in the next few months. Now let's look at some Central Florida counties and check out their most recent stats. All right, so here's Orange County, and this is from June. And then let's see what May looked like as a comparison. So we can see that the month supply of inventory went up from 1 month to 1.6. This is probably because of the sharp rise in inventory from 1,445 to 2,226. I think there might be a mindset from sellers of like, hey, this is like the time to sell. This is the push, kind of like a last call type situation. Now, alternatively, we could be getting back to that normal real estate cycle where June traditionally is probably the busiest month as far as inventory goes. So that could be a part of this push in inventory as well. The median home price went up $14,000 in Orange County, and it went up $3,000 from April to May. So it seems like prices could still be on the rise. I thought maybe we were slowing down between April to May, but now seeing this data, it looks like we're still moving at a pretty quick pace there. All right, now let's check out what we've got going on in Seminole County here. So this is what we have for June. And then in comparison, this is what we have going on in May. The month supply of inventory went up in Seminole County from 0.9 to 1.3. The median home price went up $9,000 from last month. It jumped $20,000 between April and May. So this could indicate that there's still plenty of demand, even though the month supply of inventory went up. However, since the price did go down a little bit as far as the median home price push, maybe that's starting to slow down a little bit. We'll have to see what happens in the months coming. Now let's check out the Osceola County stats from June. And then for a comparison, let's check out what May looked like. So as we can see here, the month supply of inventory went up from 1.3 to 1.8. The median home price went down over $15,000. Active listings went up from 785 to 1,021. These stats could indicate that Osceola County's market is starting to slow down. It was very hot, and now it seems like it's cooling fast with the median home price going down $15,000. I'll be interested to see if the median home price continues to drop or maybe it just evens out. My best guess is it's probably just starting to kind of even out a little bit. But you really never know. This market is unpredictable in a lot of ways. If you're curious of what homes are on the market now, I have a link in the description of my preferred properties for sale. If you're enjoying the video so far, please like and comment. It really helps me out, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. If you are a subscriber, I really appreciate your support. Now let's talk about new construction. Now, obviously each builder is different, so what I'm going to say doesn't necessarily apply to each builder in each community, but generally speaking, there hasn't been as many bidding wars. Builders are starting to offer incentives or more incentives again to buyers, closing costs, design center credits, all that kind of fun stuff. Sales consultants are reaching out to realtors again. They're having realtor events. So it's kind of getting back to normal-ish in some ways. There was a period of time where new construction, they weren't really working with realtors because they were just kind of doing their own thing. But now it seems like the new construction frenzy has died down a little bit, but it's still competitive. There's still low inventory, but it's just not as wild as it was before. Builders are still building quite a bit in Orlando. Here's an article that came out based on some Realtor.com data, and it's talking about stable housing markets, and Florida is number 3, which was interesting to see. It says Florida ranking 3rd shows home prices rising, but construction also gaining. The state has 9.6 housing starts per 1,000 residents, while its foreclosure rate stands at 1 in 1,211 housing units. Its underwater mortgage rates constitutes 1.4% of all mortgages, and housing prices are currently appreciating at a rate of 25.7%. So basically what all that means is when you're trying to figure out if a market is stable or not, some of the data points that they look at is new construction, for instance, and we have a lot of new construction going on in Florida in general, and more specifically Orlando and the Central Florida area. We probably have the most construction out of Florida. The foreclosure rates have gotten back to or very close to what it was in 2019 before all the moratoriums and everything, but we haven't seen that flood of foreclosures that people were talking about a year ago. Will it happen? Right now it's saying that underwater mortgage constitutes 1.4% of all mortgages. So basically, like, the home is worth less than what they owe. So since it's only 1.4%, I don't know if that really would make it where we're just going to see a flood of foreclosures coming anytime soon. So let's summarize exactly what all of this data means, right? So some homes are staying on the market longer, especially if they're not priced right or the condition of the home isn't move-in ready. Like a year, 2 years ago, you could put anything on the market and it was going to sell. I think sellers are having to change their outlook a little bit as far as, what kind of condition you can put your home on the market and the price, because that is changing. However, it's still a hot market. We're still seeing multiple offers, but we are seeing a shift, maybe a little bit of a slowdown, but it's still a long way to go before we're a more balanced market. So is the market slowing down? Kind of. We're not as crazy and hot, but it's still a rapid moving market even now. I think there may be some pockets of Central Florida where we are going to see a slowdown quicker than others. Osceola County maybe is one of those after looking at some of the data. And I think more of the outlier cities like Lakeland, Davenport, places like that, I think maybe that's going to slow down a little bit. So we're seeing signs of slowing down, but we're still growing, just not as a quick pace as before. For more market updates, check out this playlist. Reach out if you have any questions. My contact information is in the description below. Thanks for watching.